For 50 years, she was the voice that defined an era. Godmother of soul. 60 years of singing. Grammy Awards. Hits that span generations. A stage presence so electric that people who weren't alive when she started still knew her name before they met her. But the double life she lived for 30 years wasn't about scandal. It was about the gap between the woman the world heard and the woman nobody else saw. Patti LaBelle, born Patricia Holt in Philadelphia in 1944, became Patti LaBelle and the Bluebells in the early 60s. Then LaBelle. Then the solo career that gave the world New Attitude, On My Own, and a vocal range that made other singers stop and listen. She married Armstead Edwards in 1969. He was her manager. Her business partner. The man who handled the logistics of a career that kept growing bigger while keeping her personal life almost entirely out of the public eye. For 30 years, that marriage was the invisible foundation of everything she did. And then, in 1998, after nearly 3 decades together, she found out he had been hiding something from her. Financial betrayal. He had been taking money from her accounts. Siphoning funds from the career she had built, the money she had earned, the life she had trusted him to manage. She filed for divorce. She ended the marriage. She ended the business relationship that had been the backbone of her entire professional life. And then she did something that most people in her position never do. She rebuilt. At 54 years old, an age when most performers are slowing down, she launched a second act that nobody saw coming. The sweet potato pies. The food line. The cookbooks. The appearances on daytime television that introduced her to a whole new generation of fans who knew her kitchen before they knew her concerts. She became a brand, not through a marketing agency, but through the things she actually loved doing when she wasn't on stage. But the double life wasn't just about the marriage or the money. It was about the fact that for 30 years, she had been carrying a burden that no audience could see. The woman on stage was powerful, confident, invincible. The kind of performer who could hold a stadium in the palm of her hand and make every person feel like she was singing directly to them. The woman off stage was trusting someone who was quietly stealing from her. Not for a year. Not for a few months. For decades. There's a particular kind of humiliation that comes from discovering the person you trusted most was the one you should have been watching. She didn't talk about it much at the time. She didn't give the angry interviews. She didn't try to punish him publicly. She did what she always did on stage, she performed through it. And then she built something he had no part of. The Patti LaBelle food empire became one of the most successful celebrity brand ventures in the industry. Her sweet potato pies sold out at Walmart within hours of going on the shelves. Her appearances on the Ellen DeGeneres show broke the internet in ways that a woman in her 70s was never supposed to be able to do. She turned the thing she did for herself, cooking, creating recipes, sharing food the way she'd been taught in Philadelphia, into a business that outlasted the marriage, outlasted the betrayal, outlasted the people who thought she was done after the divorce. The double life is over now. At 81, she lives openly, the same person on stage and off it. The same honesty in both directions. The same fire that people have been seeing since the 1960s, only now it's backed by someone who knows exactly what it costs to lose trust and build it back from nothing. What no one knew for 30 years was that the strongest voice in soul music was also the person being quietly undermined at home. And the fact that she survived it, not just survived it, but built something bigger after, is the part of her story that deserves the same stage as her music. Subscribe if you want more of the stories behind the voices, the ones they didn't put in the liner notes.